What is good, Grey Gang? We're out here, we're doing a little bit of squirrel hunting, and in today's video, I want to show you guys as much as I know about how to kill squirrels. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know how to kill them too, if you don't already. And maybe if you do know how to kill squirrels, maybe you'll learn a little bit of something. Alright, so first thing with squirrel hunting, let's talk about gear before you even get out hunting. As for clothing, overall camo or just earthy colors, you pretty much just don't want anything that'll stand out. I do have blue jeans on right here. Honestly, not the best idea. It'd be better if I had camo pants, but overall, just wear earthy colors and try not to wear anything that stands out. As for your gun, you can pretty much either use a shotgun or a 22. 22s are really effective whenever the squirrels are sitting still and you can see them. Right now, you can see there's a bunch of leaves on the trees. It's pretty hard to get a squirrel to sit still and to find him to make a good shot. So it's generally best to use 22s after the leaves fall off the trees and stuff like that. But no matter when you're hunting squirrels, a shotgun's always a good choice. Literally any caliber will kill them. This one right here is a 16 gauge, but they also make a 12, a 20, 28, and a 410, and a bunch more that I can't remember. And they can all kill squirrels pretty good. The shell is what can be important though. On a good squirrel shell, you want some heavier shot, okay? Around 6 or 5, somewhere right around there, is best for squirrels, in my opinion. It's all relative though. High brass is a good option, long range. Some kind of things that has a lot of power to really get the shells up in a tree. Because you gotta think about it. When you're hunting squirrels, you're literally aiming directly against gravity. So the more powder, the more power you can have that'll sling the shot up there, the better. Now, if you don't have 6 shot, don't let that stop you from hunting, because today, all I have is 8 shot. 8 shot's not preferred for squirrels, because squirrels are a little heavier duty animal, and they can take a lot more punishment. But even with this 8 shot, I can definitely still kill squirrels. I've just got to get a little bit closer and take my time a little more and get a perfect shot. Make sure I can see the whole squirrel before I shoot. And as for location of where you actually want to start hunting squirrels, anywhere that it's a forest, like you see here, is a really good place to start. And once you get in the forest, you'll want to start looking for their food. We're going to head on down here and we're going to go to their food. Now, as you may or may not know, squirrels like nuts. And I got a few of them, of the most popular ones they like. This right here is a hickory nut. If you see these laying around, or shavings of these laying around, you're in a really good spot. Here's a hickory tree, and here's what its leaves look like. So if you look up and you see that leaf, that's a hickory tree. Squirrels will oftentimes be in these trees. A couple of other trees is the oaks. Oaks are usually some of the biggest trees in the woods. They look big, they look strong, and that's because they are. Here's what they look like, and here's what their leaves look like. There's a ton of different oaks, and they have a ton of different leaf shapes, but generally big old oak trees, they have these acorns. Different shapes and sizes for different breeds or species, whatever. But squirrels definitely like these, so if you find some of these, you're not in a bad spot. Now the last nut I'm going to talk about is this. It's a beech nut. It's really small. It's really easy for a squirrel to get into. Here's what a beech tree looks like, and this is what their leaves look like. These are extremely easy to identify because of their very slick bark. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. They're really easy to identify, and squirrels really love them. Now with squirrels, they like all kinds of nuts. They like walnuts, autumn olives, they like mulberries, they like all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, these are the 3 most popular around here. You just gotta look out at your woods and see what's most popular for your area. Or just ask some old guy. That's usually a good bet. But yeah, now that we got equipment and where to start hunting, let's go ahead and start hunting. And I'll tell you how to actually get up on the squirrel. So once you get in an area, you want to be quiet. You don't have to be extremely silent, but the quieter you are, the better. Next, you want to start listening for things moving through the trees, limbs shaking, leaves shaking, maybe a squirrel cutting on a nut. And then you also want to be looking up at the tops of trees and seeing if you can see a branch go like this when all the rest of the trees not moving, and one branch does this. It's a good sign there could be a squirrel up there. So just keep your ears open for nuts falling and keep your eyes open for anything moving in the tree. If you hear some nuts falling or leaves shaking, just move to that area and keep watching where you think it is. Once you see the squirrel, shoot him. If you can, in the head. But yeah, let's go ahead and we'll try to kill us some. Alright guys, what we're doing, we're just walking this road. There's a squirrel, but there's one. Oh, I see him. I think I see him. Oh, yeah, there he is. Oh, he's not across. Alright guys, what happened was we heard one over there. So we was just making our way over there pretty slow. And then we was just looking, because, you know, always keep your eyes and ears open. And we saw a little bush shaking. Just one little limb out of the whole tree shaking. I was like, alright, that's a squirrel. It's gotta be. So I just kept looking up there, and then I saw the squirrel. I went ahead, got the gun up, aimed up there, Even though I didn't see the squirrel the entire time, I still kept my gun up and pretty well aimed right on it. I didn't pull the hammer back until I saw the squirrel to shoot, but I just kept my gun up in that direction so that if I did see him for just a second, I'd still have time and I'd already be ready to kill him. Now, I think I seen 2 squirrels right there. They were at a little bit of a distance. As for range, it's actually a really important thing with squirrel hunting. What range do you have? Because if you see a squirrel, that doesn't mean you can shoot it. It's got to be within range for your shotgun to kill. And I think that all depends on your shotgun, your ammo, and the choke that you're using. If you don't know what a choke is, it's the thing at the end of the barrel. Sometimes it's screw in that constricts your pattern of shot to be bigger or wider, and here are the choke patterns and how they do. But the tighter the choke, the smaller the shot pattern and the more range you have. It's not always a good thing, because if there's a squirrel closer up, that's a smaller pattern, so it's a lot easier to miss. With a bigger pattern, you have a whole lot more room for error, which is a good thing if you're trying to make quick shots if the squirrels are moving.
What's your favorite size choke?
I used to think a full, but I think a full might be too tight sometimes.
Let me tell you my favorite.
What?
Improved modified.
That's a good one.
Right in the mixture between modified and full.
Yeah, I think a modified might be a really good one too.
It is.
But yeah, we're just gonna keep moving. I might even wait here a second. Just watch these trees, because I saw 2 squirrels right here, and well, they're somewhere. And if you don't get a squirrel, that's okay. That happens. It's alright. Come down, get in the fanny pack. Reload. Now I got 1 down squirrel right over there. There's another one up here though, so I'm gonna be watching for him too. And while I'm watching up here, I'm gonna use my hand and reload my fanny pack right here. Oh, there's another one down there. We're gonna go pick up that squirrel and try to kill that squirrel over there. Let's go. It's a little late in the morning. It's like 8:30 almost, and you can still see it's super foggy this morning, and it's kind of hurting me on the squirrel hunting because the dew has just been dripping the whole day, and it sounds like it's been raining. And when it sounds like it's been raining, you can't hear a squirrel. So it's just now slowed down. And as soon as it did slow down, I actually heard these squirrels and actually found some. But now that I can actually hear them, should be able to do pretty good. Here's that squirrel. He's not completely dead yet. Here's a little quick tip, guys. If the squirrel is not dead yet, be a little slow to pick it up, because they will bite you and it will hurt. So if you see that he's still alive, grab a stick and beat him over the head with it. That should kill him pretty quickly. Or grab his tail and smack his head over a tree. That works pretty good too. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab his tail, because he looks like he's about conked out, but he's still taking breaths here and there. So I just want to pick him up, and I'm gonna just crack him over this tree right here just to make sure. I don't want this dude coming back alive when he's in my vest, even though I don't wear a vest. So we're gonna take advantage of this little hickory right here. We're gonna give him the yeehaw. But yeah, now the squirrel should be 100% dead. That's perfect. Pretty good. Pretty good. That's my first kill with a 16 gauge, and hopefully it won't be the last. Now as for the breakdown, how did I kill that old son? Well, I was just walking down here on this point. I knew there's a bunch of big nut trees here. There's hickories, beeches, and oaks, the 3 big ones. And I was just walking down, looking in the tops of the trees, looking for something to shake, and then also listening for limbs to shake and for nuts to hit the ground. I heard a couple nuts hit the ground, turned around, saw him. Walked up to him, saw him with my eyes, then I just shot him. It's a pretty simple process. It can just take some time to get into the right spot and to get conditioned to what they sound like. But yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I saw another one was right down there, and then there was another one that was right up here. So I'm in a pretty good spot. I may just chill here for 5 minutes, look around and listen, and if I don't hear anything, I'll just start making my way on down. Alright guys, I was walking around, and then I found this. My uncle shot about 5 shots already, so he's probably killed a ton. Anyways, I'm still on my 1, but I was walking and I saw this. It's shavings, nut shavings. These are really, really good sign. Whenever you see these, especially if they're fresh and still have green pieces, like that one, that's pretty fresh. It's never a bad idea to stick around in these areas and spend a little bit more time, because it's telling you right here that there's been squirrels eating nuts directly above this spot very recently. So honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea for me to maybe go over there where I can see the top of this tree and just wait for 5 minutes and see if some are running around, or maybe one's in it right now and me just not knowing. Right here in the fall of the year, squirrels' main objective is to find food, eat it, and bury it. And so long story short, if you find the food, a lot of times you'll find the squirrels. It's really that simple. It really is. And then later on in the year, once the leaves start falling, all the nuts will be gone. The squirrels will be on the ground more, running around, digging up their nuts that they buried in the fall. And then he'll run over here, sit on a log like that, and eat it. You hunt squirrels totally different that time of year. But for right now, you kind of just want to find big nut trees and then hope that the squirrels are in the nut trees. So this area right here in particular, not a bad spot to just hang out for a minute. Well, boys, it's been a not so eventful morning for me. It's still foggy. It's almost 10 o'clock and it's still foggy. Buddy, I just took a seat on this rock. Me and this squirrel's just sitting here chilling, dude. I've done hiked down the mountain, around the mountain, and now I'm on my way back up where I started. I was just sitting here chilling, dude, trying to listen for squirrels. Look over and there's just one just chilling on the side of a tree looking at me. And then I shot it. Yeah, man. But yeah, pretty sure we got two. If I missed that one, there's something bad wrong. At that range, he may not have a head anymore. I'm just saying, like he was right there. He wasn't very far at all. 16 gauge doing pretty good. And these ain't even squirrel rounds. These are 8-shot. Yeah, he's right there. He didn't go very far. Anyways, he was spraddled right here looking at me. And then you can see my shot pattern and you can see fur all over the tree. But long story short, upper body, this guy is destroyed. But, you know, I think I aimed pretty good because the back legs, which are most of the meat, are in good shape. But as for the front body, he may just become snapping turtle food. There's so many pellets in this guy, I can feel them all over him. It's kind of crazy, but I don't know. At least I got the back legs in pretty good shape. All right, guys, pretty good day overall. We are going to take these back home, skin them up. I'm going to show you guys how to skin them up, and I'm also going to show you guys how to cook them up, which is honestly the most important thing. Because if you're going to come out here and kill tree rats, you want to be able to eat them, don't you? If you cook them right, they taste just like chicken. So yeah, let's head on back to the house and we'll get to doing that. Alright guys, we're back home now. We're going to be skinning them up. Here's what you need before you start skinning a squirrel. You, one, need a sharp knife. I'm using a KG pocket knife. That's because, you know, for one, I make them. But two, they're also super sharp. And you'll see that with the squirrels. The sharper, the better, but it doesn't have to be the sharpest thing in the world, but if it's dull, it'll be a lot harder. But you'll need a good knife. This size is pretty perfect for squirrels. You'll need some kind of container to put the meat in. If it's hot outside, if there's flies around, put water in it. That way when you put the meat in there, the meat's gonna go to the bottom and flies can't get to it. You can just set that somewhere. And then you'll just want something like this. Just a bucket, meat bucket, or if you're on the side of the hill, you can just throw it over the hill. It don't really matter. That's for all the parts, okay? Like your feet and its skin that you probably ain't gonna use. All right, so I'm gonna start off with this squirrel. There's a couple different ways to skin a squirrel. I'm gonna show you the easiest way. And just keep in mind, if you really wanna learn how to skin a squirrel, you can always look it up on YouTube for more detailed videos and they'll show you more how to do it. The way I'm gonna do it is to start off grabbing them right in the middle of the back. Next, you'll make a slit in their skin, just like that. Next, after this, you can just keep cutting a little bit and, you know, cut their skin all the way around. But if you're a big old beefy boy, you just get in there, stick your fingers in there, and then you can rip the rest of it. This is what I always do, because, I mean, I don't know, I guess I'm strong enough to do it. But you can always go and cut around. But for me, I just and rip it, and it usually comes along. And if I ever need help, I'll go grab my knife, just do that right there. And then from there, you're just gonna hold the squirrel, grab the end of the fur, just keep pulling it a little bit at a time, until eventually you'll have the whole thing skinned. As for the legs, you just do the same thing, just pull it on down little by little, and then it should roll right off the legs like it is right there. Just rolled right off the legs. As for the front legs, they can be a little more tricky, but you kind of got to get these legs and kind of push them in a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's still not really too hard. I don't want to get too graphic into this, but then you just go ahead and skin it out until pretty much its full body is skinned except for its head and tail, which you're not really going to skin. You can always cut off the tail if you want to keep it. You are going to get a little bloody in this process, so don't be afraid of it. It comes off with water. So now we're right here. We have the full thing skinned out, but it's still connected to the head, still connected to the feet, back feet, and tail. At this point, for the feet, you can bring pliers, just cut it. Honestly, I just snap their legs and then use my knife to cut the meat. Then the leg is detached from the fur. I'll do that all 4 legs. Alright, once you got to this step, you have the head left. Cut off the head. However you want to do it, a sharp knife can do it, and a dull knife can do it too. Just cut it off, and you are going to have to go through the spine, so you may have to put a little oomph into it. Alright, once you got to this step, you have the head left. Cut off the head. However you want to do it, a sharp knife can do it, and a dull knife can do it too. Just cut it off, and you are going to have to go through the spine, so you may have to put a little oomph into it. There you go. Also, don't use a plow as a cutting board. Use a piece of wood and it won't dull your knife nearly as much. But once you got it here, you're in pretty good shape, okay? You got full body squirrel, full meat and everything. Now all you need to do is gut it. What you'll do is you'll come with your knife, go really thin, because if you go too deep, you're going to cut its guts, and that's the worst thing you can actually do. But it's not the end of the world if you do. See, you just go in there, slice its skin, then you'll go on up, slice its rib cage. We got a little bloody right there, looks like I hit a heart. And then long story short, you reach your hands in there, grab all the stuff, rip it out, and throw it in your bucket. Once you make sure you got all the guts, lungs, and insides, all that stuff out, put it in your bowl of water, and then we'll catch you guys on the inside. Alright guys, now we're in the kitchen and we're cleaning off the squirrel. Check it out. Here's what we got. Pretty clean. I've just washed the blood off of it just a little bit, but I've still got to go in there, get fur, things like pellets, like that one right there, sticking house cat. That's probably the one that killed him right there, or at least one of them, one of 60. So first thing, you just want to wipe it off, or wash it off, get all the blood out of it. Make sure there's no little pieces of, I don't know, intestines that you forgot. Maybe some leaves on him, maybe you dropped him outside, something like that. Just go ahead and get him washed off overall. Next, what I like to do is quarter it out, because here's the thing, guys, listen. You can cook a squirrel straight up like this, but what I've noticed is that if you start cooking it like this, they'll tend to try to do one of these numbers where they just curl up and then it's hard to, you know, get them to lay flat. So what I like to do is go ahead and quarter them up. So the parts I like to quarter it up to is this leg, this leg, this leg, this leg. And then for the torso, I'll cut it in half and then we'll have the back and the top. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. And then I'll go ahead and clean it again afterwards to, you know, make sure I get all the stuff off. So long story short, I'll come in here, try my best. It doesn't have to be perfect since you're gonna be cooking it all anyhow, but just go ahead, get it cut up pretty good. The best you can, the best quartered out and even you can. You can just come in here, do that just like a chicken, but definitely not like a chicken. Then you can either, you know, go ahead and cut those off or just rip them off and it'll all be fine. It's all going the same place. That one, you know, a little sloppy, but at the end of the day, that's still a good leg. I'll go ahead and wash that separately here in a second, but as for now, I'll go ahead and quarter this up and then I'll get back with you guys right here in just a second. Alright, so I got it quartered up. This right here, those are good sized pieces to put into the pan and fry. They're not going to stand up, they're not going to shrivel up, and they've all got enough meat on them to individually handle themselves and cook. But long story short, we're going to be doing this for every single piece. But for this one, check it out. You'll look at it, you'll see some hairs on it here and there, you'll see some brown stuff. I'm just going to pull that off and get it off. Wash it off like that. Pull it off, do that, pull it off, do that, do that. There's going to be hairs on there, and if you try to get every single hair off of it, it's going to take you a long time. So my little rule of thumb, if I can see it, I'll get it off. But if it's anything smaller than an eyelash, I just leave it on there and pretend it's not. And then generally, you won't taste it because it's so small. But if it's like that big, you'll taste it. Go ahead and pull it off. And then BBs, yeah, BBs are also really important. Try not to leave BBs in there because they'll give you lead poisoning because they're lead. Alright guys, so now that once you got them into things like this, you can really cook them however you want to, but the way I'm going to be showing you guys today is about as close to fried chicken as you can get. Now just listen, okay? On normal fried chicken, you roll it in flour, whatever you want, the batter, and you fry. You do squirrels the same exact way, but you need to boil them for like an hour and a half first because they're really tough. Tough as leather, which, I mean, you can throw them in there without boiling them first, but you're probably not going to be able to eat them. Because it's extremely tough and you'll pull your teeth out. It's impossible. I'm just going to say it. It's impossible. So, we're going to boil them first. Put the squirrels in there. Oh yeah, here's the thing. So while I'm filling this up, I'll tell you where these actually came from. Alright, so the squirrels I just skinned, I put in here. That's because you want to kind of put them in the refrigerator and soak them in salt water for a couple days before you cook them. That'll really get some of the blood out, and you can see right there, this is some legs that's actually been in the refrigerator for a couple days soaking in salt. They're really clean, and it really helps, you know, I don't know, the salt really gives them a little bit more flavor, I guess. I don't really know, but it definitely takes the blood out of them.
Takes that gamey taste out of them too.
Yeah, so we'll come over here and we will just start boiling them. You'll know they're done whenever you take a fork and they're pretty tender, you can stick in them. But if you're going to fry them, you don't want them to be falling off the bone. But if you're not going to fry them, you can cook them until the meat falls off the bone. Boiling water for an hour and a half is a slow process, so we'll catch you guys in about an hour and a half when we start frying them. Alright guys, the squirrels have been boiling for about an hour and a half, and they're right at the point to where they're about ready to go, okay? I'm just going to take the pot right off and go ahead and start heating up my skillet, honestly. And while we do that, we'll let that thing cool down. We'll go ahead and put some kind of oil in. Now we're going to be frying them, so a little bit of oil is, you know, you're going to need a little bit of oil. You can do this in an electric skillet, however you want to. Basically, we're frying these squirrels, so that's what you need to get ready for. You good, bro?
Yep.
But yeah, enough oil. We're pretty much frying them. You can deep fry them if you want to, but I'm pan frying them. Now while we let that go ahead and be heating up, check out our squirrel. Now this is literally squirrel broth, which is like chicken broth except from a squirrel. Now you can tell that these are done because you can actually stick a fork in them. Now since we're frying them, we don't want them to where the meat falls off the bone, but check how easy the fork goes through. Alright, it goes straight through. Very easy, just like that. It's good and tender. I could eat it right now if I wanted to, but we're going to take a little extra steps and we're going to be frying it, just like fried chicken. So I'll go ahead and pull them on out and let that water be evaporated. So that right here, whenever I start rolling it in flour, they'll be dry. Next step here is going to be pretty simple. We're going to bread this to turn it into KFS, Kentucky Fried Squirrel. Alright, check it out. We're going to have 1 egg because we're only doing 4 little legs. Any of this, if you want to do more squirrels, just do it on a bigger scale. 1 egg, boom, right there. It's in there. We're good. Next step, I'm going to whisk this thing up where it's all the same because why not? Anyway, you can use buttermilk, whatever you want, but this is the thing that's going to aid the flour or cornmeal or breading, whatever, to stick to our squirrel. Next up, we're going to have our breading itself. Now, right now, I just got cornmeal, but we're going to be putting some of Ace seasoning on it, okay? This stuff's good. It was amazing on catfish. How's it going to be on squirrel? I don't know yet.
Probably just as good.
I don't know. We're just going to find out. And now I don't even need to salt it or anything because I'm pretty sure his seasoning takes care of all that. I'm going to go ahead and get prepared. Tongs. These are my favorite tongs. I like them because they're red. Wait a minute. I'll be back. Alright, my name is Beck. I am Beck and I'm here to teach you how to cook squirrels. Alright, we get the squirrel. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put that in there. We're just going to turn it a little bit, okay? Pretty basic. Pretty basic, just coating the squirrel in that. Then we bring it over here, we roll it in flour. Bring it over here, roll it in flour. Just like that, a good nice breading on there. This is gonna be our batter, baby. This is the original recipe right here, bad boys. Stinking, ready to stinking go, dude. This is how Daniel Boone cooked his squirrels, probably. And then from there, bring it out, shake it off, get all the extra stuff off, lay it right back there. Same with this one, shake it. Set it down. I'm gonna do 2 more, then we're about to throw it in the skillet. Now we're gonna fry. Ready? So you got a hot pan, it's ready to go. We're setting her in there. Okay, maybe a little bit hotter. And they're frying just like chicken right now. Just like chicken, they frying just like chicken. Boom. Now we wait a little bit, we turn it, and then we pull it out, and we eat it. I'm gonna tilt the plate, make them ends crispy. But as for now, I'm pretty sure the bad boy squirrel is done, okay? Or at least these 2 that we're cooking today. I'm gonna shake it off, and then set it down. Now, we gotta let these sit here for about a good 5 minutes, okay? We can't dig right into them because then we're gonna lose taste buds, and we also want it to just sit there and kind of cook some more. Because right now, it's still cooking on the inside, okay? It's heated it up, and it's still cooking on the inside. So we're gonna let it be. We're gonna let it just fizzle itself out, cool down. So we'll see in about 5 minutes. Alexa, please shake it off.
Shake It Off by Taylor Swift from Apple Music.
Alexa, stop. All right, guys, we're gonna try it now. So wish me luck. That's literally not the original recipe, but it's still good. Check that out, boy and girl. That's pretty good, man. I'm pretty good.
It looks good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Is it hot?
Yes, it's still very hot. We probably should have waited a minute more. Mine are hints of bullet fragments and bones, but...
Lead never hurt anybody.
No, your turn.
My turn.
You want to eat them?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, you can sit right there.
I'm just gonna eat this one.
Do it. You won't do it. Eat it, dude. Just like a piece of chicken. It's good. Is that good? It is
Really
good.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty much just like chicken, no kidding. It feels the same. It's about like a chicken wings, what it's like. But those are actually crispy because I done cornmeal.
That's what I was noticing. I was like, that ain't flour, that's cornmeal.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah, it is. It's really good, I think.
It's good where you boiled them.
Yeah.
Because normally you fry them like that, it feels like you're biting into this granite or whatever this is.
Yeah. But once you boil it first and then fry it, it's ready to go, dude. It's just good overall. Now that right there, that's an all-star recipe. Not even kidding. But after you do boil it, you can rip it apart. You can put it in dumplings. You can put it in spaghetti. Whatever you want to. Literally, however you use chicken, you can boil the squirrel, and that's pretty much what you got.
Dumplings are A1.
Huh?
Squirrel dumplings are A1.
If you guys want to see a squirrel dumplings video, we'll do it. We'll get Mammy. We'll get Mammy. And all I'm asking for is like 10,000 likes to do it. When I say 10,000 likes, I'm gonna do it anyways, but just go ahead and hit the like button anyways, okay? But anyways, if you guys do want to kill a squirrel, I think this video should tell you how to do it. If you want any of the squirrel hunting gear you saw in this episode, like the KG pocket knife, like the long sleeve hunting shirt, like the fanny pack, alright, there's a lot of hunting things. Use promo code SQUIRREL10, all caps, at kendallgray1.com/shop or the first link in the description, and you can get 10% off my entire hunting collection. And we're gonna put the link to that hunting collection down in the description as well. Click right over here for all of my squirrel hunting playlists if you want to learn a little bit more about squirrel hunting.